Support for Steppin Out comes in part from the Kristovich family in honor of Mary Lou and Bill Kristovich. And by New Orleans Tourism Marketing Corporation, New Orleans, where stories are created.
Good evening, I'm Peggy Scott Laborde and welcome to Steppin Out, spotlighting the New Orleans area's arts and entertainment scene. Seated at our table tonight, Poppy Tooker, host of the radio program Louisiana Eats, airing twice weekly on WWNO radio. Hello, dear.
Hi, Peg.
Welcome back. And we have Errol Laborde, who by day, editor-in-chief of New Orleans Magazine. The list is long, but also producer and regular panelist for Informed Sources right here in WYES. And he's going to be recapping this year's carnival season. Hey, E.
Hey, Peg.
And Alan Mason of TheaterCriticism.com. First up, Miss Poppy.
Well, first off, congratulations to the Gold Ring Family Foundation and the Sazerac Company. The landscape on Canal Street changed this week when the sign went up on the Sazerac House. This is going to be an incredible project opening in October. So that's what's going on Canal Street. Now, in another way part of town, Middendorf's out of town, as a matter of fact. They are having a big 85th anniversary all this year. And they are just the best people. I love them so. They are putting together a time capsule with a guest book. And they want everybody to stop by during March and sign the guest book. They're looking for stories and memorabilia. And the concept on the time capsule is that they're going to put it away until it's their 150th anniversary in 2084. Now, that's really something that the Pfeiffers are banking on another 65 years in business over there in Passman Shack. But, you know, they're building a second restaurant in Slidell to open this summer. So it's going to be bigger than ever. Middendorf's everywhere. Slidell, Passman Shack. Now, what has finally opened that I've been dying to eat at is Justine.
Oh, yes.
That, of course, is Justin DeVillier's new restaurant. You know, he also has Le Petit Grocery in Belize. This is in the second block of Charter Street, and it is just an exquisite Parisian brasserie. This is the front room, which is very casual and it's got the street view. And then you go into a second, larger dining room where there's such a beautiful bar. It's just like you're in Paris. And the food did not disappoint. There is a wonderful onion soup, just classic. The steak tartare, the best I've had in quite some time. Foie gras torchon, bone marrow bordelaise. My puppy dog loved that marrow bone. Octopus vinaigrette. And every day they have specials, including classical things like coq au vin and braised lamb shanks. They have entertainment every night. Trixie Minx and her entertainers are doing everything from magic to can-can dancing. And so it's really something to see and something to go try. The food's delicious. Another big anniversary. So it's 85 years in Passman Shack. It's 10 years in Arnaudville for my friends at Bayou Teche Brewing. They were just, imagine this, the third brewery to open in the entire state of Louisiana 10 years ago. Now there's over 30 across the state, another 15 opening this year, and they have grown and expanded enormously. They have a tasting room, of course, and they give tours. Now they have a restaurant. They opened up a little place called the Cajun Saucer, where they're serving wood-fired pizzas with all Louisiana ingredients, except Carlos is most disgusted he can't find a Louisiana pepperoni, so the pepperoni is imported. Everything else from Louisiana. And their new beers, oh my goodness gracious. Here is their Cajun Breakfast Stout. Now, I know it's Lent and we're supposed to be, you know, thinking about abstinence, but this is just the perfect breakfast beer. It's brewed with boudin. Here, Peg, this is for you. It's the only beer in the world brewed with boudin, coffee, a little maple syrup.
I smell the coffee.
Yeah,
okay.
wake up and
Should I
smell
take
the
a sip?
coffee.
I guess I'll take a sip.
No, I thought I just heard you say it was brewed with boudin.
It's brewed with boudin. There's boudin in there. How about that?
Wow,
Isn't
actually,
that
it's
fabulous?
pretty delicious, I have to say.
Absolutely. And then another beer that really caught me by surprise. They have a whole series called Teshticles. Now remember, we're talking Bayou Tesh. Teshticles. They launched that during the Red Dress Run. They're all very high in alcohol, and they feature a man lounging on a New Orleans patio in a dress. And their 10-year celebration beer is Velvet Teshticles, made with champagne grapes, 25% alcohol in volume. And next Saturday, on the 16th, big party in Arnaudville. Make plans. Go see my buddy, Carlos Knott.
I'm still getting over the bone marrow soup and octopus from the previous thing. Now we're doing testicles.
Thank you so much.
Testicles.
Thank you, Poppy. And moving to air, as is our tradition here, of course, to talk a little bit about how was Mardi Gras. And we've got some images to put forth, too.
Well, first of all, as always, it's an honor to meet you all in person. And that
Good to see you.
Y'all always look younger and more beautiful in person than even on TV. Well, there's so much about Mardi Gras. It's just all over the place. I mean, it really is just a big, big festival, all embracive. I remember a few years ago, I got a call from somebody in Los Angeles, and they said, could you tell me how we could start a Mardi Gras? And I said, well, first you get 200 years. Okay, all right. But anyway, and so just a few, I guess, random notes and some shots to show you. One is a scene from this year's Bacchus.
Yeah.
I thought Bacchus did a good idea. You know, from the very beginning, Bacchus wanted to have sort of like common themes, and I thought this was a good idea. And it was about films made in Louisiana.
Yeah, and I just wanted to point out, this was a newly reconstructed Bacchus throne, and with the papier-mâché Bacchus, but the actual cup moved. It was animated, which I thought was fascinating.
Yeah, and the eyes did also. And this actually kind of reminds me of some of the early Blaine Kern floats when they had like the
Via Reggio
when they moved
inspired,
the hands
yeah.
and all right, just a few things is that some of my favorite things is that in the Muses Parade, the floats are fun, but boy, the groups that go in between the floats are really good. And there's one, it's been around a few years, but I still heard people talking about it the next day, is the Lazy Boys. These are guys in Lazy Boy chairs, okay? You know, they're drinking wine. They got a truck with a loudspeaker playing Sinatra songs, right? And these are all mechanized, and they just go down the street. Look at that. And some of them can do a few turns and swerves. I think it's just one of the funniest ideas to come along. But another funny thing they had is they have this thing called something like the Dead Rock and Roller Society, in which each year they pay tribute to a dead rock and roller, which sounds maudlin, I know. But as it was, this year they did it to Freddie Mercury with Queen, and I guess the movie made it popular. So they were all dressed like Freddie Mercury, and they were playing those songs. But I just thought that there's just funny stuff between the floats. And I thought that was good. Again, you know, we're still seeing growth in the Marigny system. This T-Rex parade, which is floats made from shoebox size, you know, but they're very
G.
artistic.
Detweiler, the captain.
Yeah, but they're very artistically done. It's not like, you know, little second graders doing things. This is when you have adult artists working on it, and they're doing some very, very creative things. And I like this idea. I mean, participate in Mardi Gras, but do something new and fresh. And I think that this is good. From Lundi Gras, which was created in 1987. This is I think one of the great moments in Carnival, where you have on one stage you have Rex and the mayor and the Zulu. And this is Rex's party right here, and they're all come to visit Rex. And Rex has proclaimed that the next day should be a holiday. The mayor has concurred, and so you have the mayor, Zulu, and
Mr. Bow and Mr. Rainey, wonderful mayor, Latoya
and
Cantrell.
Rex, and the audience does this countdown, and they push down the plunger, and you got this fireworks, and so it's like the combination of the civic side of Mardi Gras and the royal side of Mardi Gras and the crowd out there. I just think it's one of the Carnival's great moments. I think we have another Rex thing. Or this is from the
Royal Run.
The Royal Run. Several years ago, a former Rex by the name of Bowden O'Reilly had this idea of having a Royal Run on the morning of Mardi Gras. It's at 7 o'clock, all right? Imagine you're Rex and Rex's queen and say, oh, good news, you got to go run at 7 o'clock in the morning. But they always do it, and they have their Royal Run T-shirts. They have a little cannon that they fire, and the queen is always, by law, declared the winner.
Right.
She can finish last, and she is the winner. Next we have, let's see, what we have?
The Zulu, black makeup, huh?
The Zulu parade, yeah, congratulations to Zulu for all of the criticism that Zulu said, look, this isn't blackface, this is black art. I mean that we have.
Makeup.
And they stood by their conviction on it. And that's a classic look. And so Zulu did a great job with that.
The blind referee.
Okay, this was one of the most common themes that you saw throughout the season was blind referees. There were blind referees all over the place, and nobody needed any explanation.
Yeah.
Of
And finally,
what that was
Society of
about.
St. Anne, huh?
And then the Society of St. Anne, this was their 50th anniversary. This is a great group, and he comes across from Marin, he goes down Royal Street, Tour Canal, maybe thousands of people. And because of the 50th anniversary, a lot of them were dressed in gold. And boy, this captures what everybody thinks Mardi Gras is, where you have wall-to-wall maskers, and they got the conga music. It's really a good scene.
And special thanks to Justin Winston and Judy Petoni
Yeah.
and Priscilla Lawrence for those photos. But we have to say, though, that we have something to show. We've got show and tell in your segment because, as is always our tradition on the Friday after Mardi Gras, here we have scenes from WYES's broadcast of this year's meeting of the courts of Rex and Comus. Now, the Queen of Carnival was Christina Britt Johnson. The Queen of Comus was Miss Lucy Sandoz Lanier. And you'll hear the voices of Dr. Stephen Hales, myself, and Errol. And of course, Robert Bowe was Rex, and Comus is anonymous. So let's take a look.
Do we have audio?
Rex and his queen have entered the building, getting ready for the meeting of the courts. There's Anne Grace bidding the captain well. If Ever I Cease to Love, played by the Jimmy Maxwell Orchestra. Mr. Robert Espo and
What a wonderful King of
Christina
Carnival.
Britt Johnson.
He's had a very full day and been very gracious at each point along the way.
And we have Comus, of course, and Miss Lucy Sandoz Lanier.
And these two queens were childhood friends for many, many years, shared birthday parties, and here they are greeting each other as debutantes and queens of Carnival and Comus, respectively.
The meeting of the courts, Rex and Comus 2019, live. A tradition, and when Henri Schindler was part of our broadcast, that we enjoyed having him discuss, was a nod to what Carnival was really all about.
There was a book written in 1934. It was commissioned by the Comus organization. A man by the name of Perry Young was hired to write it, and he wrote this introduction, which people remained stunned by. And it hits some beautiful analogies, but it really refers to the closing of Carnival, which is the stage that we're ending right now. He wrote, "Carnival is the butterfly of winter, whose last mad flight of Mardi Gras forever ends its glory. Another season is the glory of another butterfly, and the tattered, scattered fragments of rainbow wings are in turn the record of his day." And what he was saying with that is that you look at this carnival, but there's still, as much as you try to analyze it and to learn about it, there's still the scattered fragment elements out there. And
very
it's hard to
delicate.
just put it all together.
Yeah, Carnival is very delicate.
Butterflies are woven into so much of Carnival art, jewelry and pins and costumes. If you look carefully at Rex's costume, you'll find the occasional butterfly reference there.
And even the Butterfly King,
Butterfly King,
float.
which is 19th century invitation, put the butterfly wings on the King of Carnival, and that's become an enduring symbol.
Including a float.
The last permanent float we added in the parade is the Butterfly King float, beautifully animated.
And to purchase a DVD of the entire 2019 Rex Ball and the Meeting of the Courts of Rex and Comus and broadcast, be sure to go to WYES.org. It's only $29.99. And we also wanted to mention a group art exhibit having to do with Carnival at Gallery 600 on Julia. And that's titled Beads and Circuses. This is Tradition by Michel Dazev. And we have Uptown Lil Queen by William B. Crowell. The gallery is at 600 Julia at Camp, and the exhibit lasts through this month. And New Orleans Magazine's quiz queen, Julia Street, has a question for us. Last time, Perry LeRae gave us the names of 2 university-based precision marching groups that frequently march in local carnival parades. The answers are Texas A&M and the Citadel. Now, tonight's question. One is a neighborhood, the other is a waterway. Both are named after the Irish. What are they? Email your answers to steppinout@wyes.org. Our prize is a year subscription to Louisiana Life magazine, a dish towel with the message "Love is King Cake" from our friends at wearablevegetables.com. You can go to wyes.org for our online calendar to see our lineup of events, including Jeff Parish Library's book sale starting next Thursday at the Pontchartrain Center, and Valerie Sassafras's record release party in Siberia on March 23rd. You can also link to our WYES YouTube channel to see our program. You know, earlier today, Artistic Director of Le Petit Theater's Max Williams and some cast members came to tell us about and perform a scene from Le Petit's upcoming production of Tennessee Williams's Baby Doll. Max, I know that when we think of Tennessee Williams, we think streetcar, but we've got to go way beyond that, including Baby Doll.
That's right, that's right. Well, we're doing a production of Baby Doll that's going to go up on March 15th at Le Petit Theater. Of course, it'll run for 3 weeks, and so we'll have that final weekend as part of the Tennessee Williams New Orleans Literary Festival, such a huge celebration of all the works of Tennessee, and as you were saying before, great American writers as well, and just the value of writing for the theater specifically in general. So it's great to do Baby Doll. This is actually a fairly new adaptation of the movie, as you know, came out in 1956. It was itself an adaptation of 27 Wagons Full of Cotton, Tennessee Williams' great one-act.
Which premiered here, we should point out,
That's
at
right.
Tulane in 1955 with Maureen Stapleton of all.
Perfect,
Incredible.
wonderful.
And I guess it's a bit of a dark comedy.
Yes, I mean, I think if we hook into the right tone, there'll definitely be some, that's right, takes place in the Delta in Tagatale County, which is sort of based on the town of Blue Mountain, where Tennessee, you know, spent some formative years and like that.
Set up the plot for us a little
Great.
bit.
So Baby Doll is about a young woman on the eve of her 20th birthday, and she's been married for 2 years to a cotton gin owner named Archie Lee Megan. And they have not yet consummated this marriage, but they have an arrangement, an agreement that the following day on her 20th birthday that
things will happen.
Things will happen, exactly. And she's of 2 minds about this and like that. Meanwhile, Archie Lee is in great economic distress. His cotton gin has been shut down because the Syndicate Plantation opened their own gin, kind of they were like the Walmart of cotton gins, you know, came into the town and shut this down. So Archie Lee's losing the furniture from the house. Baby Doll's very unhappy, and so he gets it into his mind to perhaps burn down the Syndicate gin. And the next day, the foreman of the Syndicate Gym, Silva Vaccaro, comes over to the house with 27 wagons full of cotton to keep Archie busy while he gins the cotton and begins to work on Baby Doll to try to get her to
agree to something.
Agree to something and gather some evidence against Archie Lee.
And our actors tonight?
A wonderful Maggie Windler, who's playing Baby Doll in the production, and Todd Demore, who is Silva Vaccaro.
And now a scene from Baby Doll.
Sometimes I don't know where to go, what to do.
That is not uncommon. People enter this world without instruction on where to go, what to do. So they wander a while. They go away. They drift. And they vanish.
Huh. This is the old Pierce Arrow car that belonged to the lady that used to own this place and haunts it now.
Where to, madam?
Oh, you're playing chauffeur. It's a good place to sit when the house isn't furnished. Drive me along the river as fast as you can with all the windows open to cool me off.
Fine, madam.
Chauffeurs sit in the front seat.
Front seat got no cushion.
It's hard to find a place to sit around here since the ideal pay-as-you-go plan people lost patience. To sit in comfort, I mean.
Hard to sit in comfort when the ideal pay-as-you-go plan people lost their patience. Your gin burned down.
Oh, but you said that like you
What?
thought there was... Excuse me, I want to get out and I can't get over your legs.
You can't get over my legs?
No, I'm not athletic.
It's cool in here and comfortable. What's this here?
It's a charm bracelet. My daddy gave it to me. Then there's the 10 Commandments.
Niece?
My birthdays. It's stretchable, one for each birthday.
How many charming birthdays you had?
As many as I got charms hanging on that bracelet.
Mind if I count 'em?
I was born on the day that Frank Delano Roosevelt was elected for his first term.
Great day for this country for both reasons.
He was a man to respect.
You're a lady to respect, Mrs. Megan.
Me? Oh no, I never got past the 4th grade.
Why'd you quit?
I had a great deal of trouble with long division.
Yeah?
The teacher would tell me to go to the blackboard and work out a problem in long division. I would go to the blackboard and lean my head against it and cry and cry and cry. Whew. I think the porch will be cooler. Mr. Vaccaro, I can't get over your legs.
Want me to move my leg?
Yes, otherwise I can't get out of the car.
Okay.
Yes, I would cry and cry and, well, soon after that I left school. A girl without education is without education. I feel kind of dizzy. Hope I'm not getting a sunstroke. I better sit in the shade.
Woo! A reminder that you can see Baby Doll Le Petit Theater from March 15th, of course, next Friday until the 31st. Visit LePetitTheater.com to purchase your tickets. And now, Ellen.
Well, we start off with some sad news, unfortunately. The New Orleans theater, and I guess even the film community, lost a great teacher and a beloved director, Don Brady, this past week. Brady was a featured actor in several films, some of which were filmed actually here in New Orleans, such as Cat People and Angel Heart. Was a featured performer. He was a member of the Screen Actors Guild Actors Equity. But more important than that, he directed over 40 productions, even some that were off-Broadway. And he was on the faculty at Loyola University for 43 years. So, again, a big loss there. Again,
A sweet
you know,
and gentle man,
Yeah,
too.
and again, everybody seemed to love him. A memorial in his honor will be announced at a later date. Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room, as it were, in the room where it happens, as it were. This is, of course, Hamilton. It was about, 3 years or so ago when I announced on this very show that it was the lock of the year to win the Tony Awards, and of course it did, with a whole bunch of other Tony Awards in its wake. It's taken a year and a half since it first started touring, but it's now going to be here this next week. And of course, the room where it happens is a reference to one of the songs there, sung by Aaron Burr, wanting to be into the mix of the power players of his day, namely Thomas Jefferson and James Madison and Alexander Hamilton, the namesake of the musical. Hamilton is really a groundbreaking experience. It's transformative in many ways. It intentionally takes popular music of today, hip hop and rap, and incorporates them into traditional Broadway fare and novelty songs. Hamilton takes the cover off of traditional representations of the colors of the founding fathers, if you will, and they really have them played by people of color and underrepresented ethnic groups. But for all its differences, there are many things that are similar. So you'll see there's a lot there. Please, please, please go to YouTube, pick up a copy of the CD, do what you can to familiarize yourself with it, because it happens so fast. There's so much going on. You really need to know about that. Tickets are expensive, but 24 hours in advance of every show, they're going to have a ham for ham. It's a $10 per ticket lottery. You can win up to 2 each, 40 tickets per show. And Hamilton will be here for 3 weeks, dark on Mondays, and matinees on Saturday and Sunday. Keep that in mind. Also, speaking of Hamilton, the folks at Kelly Fouchy's Encore Studios are going to have Phil Colgan, who is the dance captain for Hamilton. He's going to be on 2 Saturdays, the 24th and the 31st of March. Keep that in mind. Kelly Fouchy, of course, is associated with the Rivertown Theaters for the Performing Arts in Kenner. And guess what? Next week, they're taking the wraps off the opening for Into the Woods by Stephen Sondheim and James Lapine. I'll have that to review on March the 22nd. Again, tickets are from $39.80 to $44 at the Rivertown Theaters. And also, for one night only, the night before St. Paddy's Day, the Jefferson Performing Arts Society is going to be bringing in the Irish Tenors. They'll be performing at the Jefferson Performing Arts Center on Airline Drive. And even if your Irish eyes aren't smiling, you'll be thoroughly charmed by this trio as they perform various standards from Irish fare. And again, they all sing separately and then they sing together. They, because they're tenors. They don't harmonize.
All right, now time for picks. Puppy.
Luca Libre Wrestling. It's the kickoff to Agave Week next Wednesday across from the Ace Hotel, and St. Patrick's Day at Couvent. Chef Brad McDonald has an incredible sort of French-Irish menu. Go eat it. It's delicious.
Errol.
Well, they say the good news about having a late Mardi Gras is you got that much more distance from Christmas. The bad news is that you're that much closer to St. Patrick's Day and to St. Joseph's Day. And so all of that starts next weekend. It's going to go over 2 weeks. So not too much break from Mardi Gras.
Okay.
Okay, I believe their first show is sold out this coming Wednesday, but for the next couple of Wednesdays, the 20th and the 27th, the Victory Bells are back on stage at the nation's armed forces being honored, et cetera, at the Stage Door Canteen at the World War II Museum.
All right, great. And my picks, we have an opening reception to exhibits by artists Garland Robinette and Susu Kearney. And it'll be this Saturday at the New Orleans Academy of Fine Arts Gallery, both so talented. And those exhibits will run until March the 30th. Lemieux Galleries will be having its own opening reception for 2 exhibits this Saturday night, too. One featuring the work of Deidre Ludwig and the other, the work of Margaret Ross Tolbert. And both exhibits will run till April 13th. Visit their website for more information. The Pirates Alley Faulkner Society will be hosting a Meet the Authors event this Sunday. Featured authors include Thomas Mallon, Maurice Carlos Ruffin, and Roger Kamenetz. The event is free and will be at the Cabildo. And finally, Cafe Reconcile will be doing a Pay What You Can Day next Tuesday. It'll be a shortened menu where you can actually pay anything from $1 to $100. Visit CafeReconcile.org to learn more. And thank you all very much. And thank you, Errol Laborde.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching. Good night.
Support for Steppin Out comes in part from the Christovich family in honor of Mary Lou and Bill Christovich. And by New Orleans Tourism Marketing Corporation. New Orleans, where stories are created.